Hello, this is Nyrox here, playing Final Fantasy XIV on the request of Calaran, or Darthix, or Ready Aim Fire, whatever he's calling himself. He recommended that I do this just to see if anyone would be interested, because it's a game that I do play a hell of a lot with two other friends. And yeah, I just thought I'd play this and see if anyone's interested in this, just as much as the other playthroughs we've done. But I'm not really sure what to do while doing this, because like, I don't really see. Oh, good. I don't really see if there's anything else I can actually like talk about while I play this game. Like, what should I talk about when I play this game? Should I talk about it? What yeah, just like that. It's like, what do I talk about? I don't really know what to talk about when I play this game. I can talk about this game entirely, but like, chances are, if you're watching this and you know this game, then you probably already know lots about it. Should I talk about why I like this game, or actually, not really why I like this game. Why, in a lot of cases, I dislike this game. This game has a hell of a lot of flaws in it that I just don't like about it. Like, it's a good game. I like it, but well, yeah, there we go. Then fine. We have our conversation piece. Why am I not much of a fan of Final Fantasy XIV, despite the fact that I like it? I can do the same with World of Warcraft, because World of Warcraft is also another game that I've liked. Oh God, really? This whole thing, I don't understand at all, but sure, why not? But yeah, World of Warcraft's another game that I can talk for ages about, because I played it for many years. I played it, those of you who are World of Warcraft veterans, I played it before they opened the gates of Anchorage, if that's pronounced right. So that's before the first expansion pack, and that's months, maybe even a year or so before the first expansion pack. So yeah, I've played it for an awful long time. And nowadays I just don't like it. I just don't like World of Warcraft. But enough about World of Warcraft. Let's go into Final Fantasy, shall we? So, I like the interesting class systems, and I like a lot about this game. There's a lot of things I like about this game. I really do. But at the same time, it also has lots of flaws. I think really are flaws that I have personally with the game. Because like, I talk to everyone else, and they're like, "Oh, I'm overthinking things, or I'm not giving it much of a chance or anything else." But I'm just sat there going, this game is just like, it's awful in a lot of things. Ooh, well, that's new. Gloam earrings. Okay, off you go, lad here. Yep, just go again. Wait, how many things were you how many things were you selling? Selling 9 things. Oh my God, he's made a lot of money last night. Ta-da! Awesome. Give me all that. Give it all to me. Oh, wicked. I'm already off topic. Fantastic. Oh, we're doing great today, aren't we, guys? Yeah. It's mostly storyline elements that I have for this game. Like, I'm not going to sit there and profess that I'm a brilliant storyteller and I've written thousands of books and I know all about stories. Blah, blah, blah. If you listen to our Foxcraft thing on, I think it's called Fish. I think he called it Fish and Chips with Nyrox. I think Calaran called it Fish and Chips. If you listen to that one, we talk about Foxcraft, and again, I say that then when we were speculating about, you know, what's going to happen in the next book that's coming out in, I think about a week, which I'm so excited for. But when that came out, again, we were just like, I said it there, like I won't claim to be an amazing storyteller. I write short stories myself, and I think I know a little bit about character development and story development and all that. But some of the story in this game just seems really awful. Just like utterly awful. Like, there are so many things in the storyline that I'm just like, what's going on? Like, there's been quite a few times where I've had to stop and turn around to my friends and go, I'm sorry, what are we doing? Who are we doing this for? Why are we doing this for them? Why is this happening? Who? What? And like, I've even said it to Calaran as well. Calaran doesn't play it, by the way. If you're curious, Calaran does not play this game. He's not interested in any kind of MMO gaming at all. But I've said to him a few times, just to be like, because again, he writes a few short stories as well. But I said it to him because, you know, as we are two, oh God, I'm not sounding too pretentious. Like, you know, we're both short stories writers. I think he's got a book out on Kindle, or a few chapters of a book out on Kindle. I have nothing, but I talked to him about it because again, we have characters, we write stories about them, so we both know about story writing and everything else. And I say to him a few of these stories, and I'm like, does this make sense to you as to why we're doing this? Like, I don't understand like, how did this happen? Like, how did this thing in Final Fantasy XIV happen? And most of it is down to the fact that I think very differently about storylines. Like, in all the Disney movies, I was always voting for the bad guy, because I liked the bad guy, because I liked, I keep saying to my friends, I want to see a movie like Star Wars, but instead of Luke, you know, killing Darth Vader or whatever, not killing him, I'll admit that I've not seen all of Star Wars, but like, I want to see, like, instead of Luke, you know, being the good guy, I want to see one where Darth Vader kills Luke, and then the rest of the movie is the Empire just slowly stomping everyone else, and the moral of the story is sometimes life sucks, because that's how I feel. I feel like I am a lot, like, rather jaded in this at all. I just realized I have any sound up. I'll put music on for you guys, so there's some backing music. Anyway, yeah, so, like, I'm very kind of jaded in a way. I've seen the world differently from a lot of people, and I know for a fact that that is a huge... Okay, it's a raid thing, never mind. I know for a fact that, like, life does suck, and, like, it's not... The good guy doesn't always win. Good guys die, and bad guys get away with it. You know, it happens all the time. There's loads of times where bad guys do win. The good guy suffers and slaves through life, and he ends up dying alone, old and alone, with no one knowing that he's even died. And I know it happens. And I like to see a few more movies. I've seen a lot of movies where that doesn't happen, where it's always, no, the good guy wins because he's a good guy and everything else. He's done all the good things, and he gets, you know, he gets the girl, he gets the thing and everything else, whatever. He just wins at the end, and it's like, well, that's boring. I hate that, because it's not realistic. Because, like, I go to a movie and go, okay, what's this movie called? It's Star Wars. Okay, so who's that guy? Luke. He's the good guy, so he's going to win. Who's that? Darth Vader. He's going to lose. That's it. Movie over. I mean, yes, it's also, it's a journey about it as well. You go through the journey of the film. Yeah, but I know what's going to happen now. The good guy's going to win, and the bad guy's going to lose. I mean, that's what happens. And here we go, Final Fantasy XIV, where I am the warrior of light, and I'm the chosen one, and I go around beating up primals and winning the game and everything else, and oh my god, it doesn't add anything else. Like, a new primal comes out, a new god comes out, and everyone's like, oh, he's a new god, let's go stop him, and I'm like, oh, don't go and kill him. It's just nothing, because there's no kind of suspension of, like, there's a suspension of disbelief, is that what you'd call it? Of, like, maybe this time I can't do it. Like, maybe they did a good job with this when they brought out the big bad guy. Oh god, they're all bosses. I can't say the bosses in the Black Mage. But, is it because, like, I just ran out of thought. What was I talking about? But is it maybe because of, no, I was starting a new thought. I just like the fact that there's no tension of, like, maybe this time I can't do it. That's what it was. I remember now. When they brought the boss out for this expansion, you fight the boss. It's like, okay, here comes the big boss. Let's go beat him up. And he literally just goes, okay, yeah, fighting. Whoosh, smacks you one. Whoosh, smacks you one. And just kicks your ass. And it's just like, well, that was unexpected. And like, there was for a second there. It was like, oh, well, that's not what I was expecting from this game. But okay. But it still worked out in the end. We killed him. And again, I'm just like, I didn't really see it coming. It wasn't a shock. It wasn't a shock that, you know, I won. Wrong one. It wasn't a shock that, like, oh my god, I can't believe that I won. It was like, yeah, more than the light here, you know. And so there's a lot of things within the storyline of this game that I don't like. It's that basically. The storyline feels very weak, basically because of that. That point of that. I am the chosen one. I hate stories like that. Like, similarly, people may say, like, in World of Warcraft, it's the same thing, though. But the difference was, it's only been recently in World of Warcraft, because back when I played World of Warcraft, you were just the adventurer who was bumbling along, you know, doing quests, and just happened to come across big plots of, like, you know, oh, the king's he's been taken away. So I didn't know what happened to that. I mean, that wasn't even explained in the game, so I didn't know. I didn't buy the books, because I was giving Blizzard £9 a month for World of Warcraft. I didn't really want to buy books to... I didn't want to go and pay to buy books to explain things that were explained in the game. You know, it seemed kind of rubbish to do. So, but like, yeah. So King Storm and everything else. That's what happened. Everything else. You're just Bob. You're just Bob from accounting. You're not special. You're not the chosen one. You're not the son of a god or a deity. You've just happened to put up upon this, like, this big mystery and you just got caught up. That's more the story that I kind of like in games. I dislike games where you have to actually be the chosen one, the son of a god, daughter of a deity, whatever. You know, whatever. You have to be someone special. I like the fact that it feels more real, doesn't it, when the character of the storyline isn't special. He's just a normal, bog standard guy who's just doing his normal day-to-day life and gets caught up in it. And again, Final Fantasy XIV doesn't have that. Final Fantasy XIV, I've been told by other friends, I'm not a huge fan of the Final Fantasy XIV series. I played Final Fantasy VII, and when I play Final Fantasy VII, I mean I played on my brother's games and raced their chocobos and bred them for and just, you know, pissed about. I didn't really do anything amazingly, you know, in depth. I didn't really do anything with the storyline. I'm still confused by the storyline of Final Fantasy VII, to be honest. It has a really complex storyline. But like, yeah, so that's just the storyline that I feel about this game. There's so many things about this game and the storyline that I just don't understand because it's confusing or it's just really weird. I've been told by people who are fans of the game that that's how the storyline works in this. The storyline works and like it's really kind of confusing and complex, and it is based around you're the main guy, you're the hero. So it's like a game like coming forward, like I said, where there's no suspension of disbelief in the game. Maybe I can't do it this time. It's never happened. It's never happened because like going back to that game, like, there's never once been a time where the NPCs have done it. The NPCs have gone, oh well, this is a different primal. It's like, yeah, but still kick the ass of all the primal before. What makes this primal so different? But like, oh, but this is a primal of, you know, immense power. And it's like, yeah, so was the last one. And it just feels very, very repetitive as well. Like, yeah, but this primal was really strong. It's like, yeah, so was the last one. You know, I killed King Thornton, I killed Ifrit, Garuda, Ifrit, Titan. Walks in the park. Oh, but this is a stronger one. Yeah, you said that last time. You said Shiva was a stronger primal. She still died. She didn't bother my arse none. I mean, we went in there, we wiped once, I think, and then killed her, and then that was it. So just, oh, okay, well that was. But I do bring up the storyline an awful lot to my friends, and just saying like this storyline is, you know, it's rubbish. It's bull poo. I'm gonna, you know, be nice and not trying to swear so much. It is all bull poo. It doesn't really. A lot of the storyline, and I'll be honest. I said before, I'm not the smartest person, so it's entirely possible I've missed like one or two key plot points, and I've just not been paying attention to the story strong enough. I've not been following it closely enough. But at the same time, like, is that a problem with me, or is that a problem with the game? Has the game not explained the storyline strong enough, or am I just too stupid to actually understand it? Like, I kind of feel that if the storyline is strong enough, then, you know, you shouldn't have to be a stupid person to understand it. If you can't understand it, it feels like it might be a problem with the way the storyline is written. Like, what can I talk about? So, big spoiler in this thing was that we talked with people who don't understand the game. I could try and explain it to you, but for people who did play this game, or do play this game, the big plot thing here was one of the scions, Yida, was not Yida. She was, I believe it's pronounced Lise, her sister. And it was just like, hang on, what? And like, I felt that it was meant to be a big kind of shocking reveal, but my entire response was, did we know she had a family? Like when that was revealed, it was just like, I didn't know she had a family. I thought, as far as I knew, she was a test tube baby. She didn't have any family. Like, nothing was actually, I don't remember her ever mentioning she had a family. And then they mentioned that she was from Alamega, and it was like, wait, she is? When did that happen? Like, are these things, like, it feels like the reason why that was bad is that it feels like that these were things that were probably, you know, established very early on in the game. This is now, what, 2 or 3 years later on? And we've forgotten all about it, and it was never brought up again. And it feels really weird that, like, Ida or Lise, you know, it feels really weird that, like, she's the character she is now as well, because she said some really stupid things. Like, I kept on saying to my friends, like, I hate Lise, I hate her. I hate her because she seemed kind of cool. She seemed like kind of a badass fighter. And in this experience, she turned into a stupid little child. Like, there was that part in the village, I think in one of the first villages you go to and try and get help at, where the guy was like, yeah, we want to fight against the Empire, we want to stop them, but we can't. We don't have the men, we can't give you the men to fight, so we're not going to bother, because it's easier to cope and deal with it. And she got angry at them. And is it because, like, is there something I'm missing about how, you know, logic works? Because to me, in that logic, I would have just gone, yeah, that's fine, okay, leave it. I mean, that's sound logic, like, you hate the guys who are oppressing you, but what can you do? And it seemed really, really weird that Lyse suddenly changed into this person who was, instead of being like kind of smart and intelligent, she was all kind of, oh my god, I can't believe you're so weak, you get nothing for your homeland and everything else. And it was like, Lyse, they said they want to help, they just can't. It's not really their fault, they can't help. And I don't know, it seems really weird. There's a few other things in this game, like, I find it really weird as well, that little nitpick thing. I find it kind of weird that everyone speaks British now. Like, everyone is incredibly British. Like, I understand that there's voice acting and stuff, but didn't they have to get everyone from England? It's really funny when you move from A Realm Reborn into Heavensward. And you move into that, and suddenly Rauban's voice has gone from being deep and whatnot to kind of like a deep, normal kind of like, you know, nondescript accent voice to suddenly a deep British man. I could imagine running into Rauban in London. But I think I went to London on the weekend. I think I did run into some people who sounded like Rauban. It was amazing. It was amazing. It's just like, I don't know, like I kind of like his original. I kind of like all the original voices. But yeah, it's a few other weird storylines and plot things I don't understand. A friend of mine actually showed me a website of somebody who took some of the quests away. Sorry, who took, because of course this is a Japanese game. If you didn't know, it's a Japanese-based game. Japanese-based game, sorry, it is a Japanese game. It came from Japan. Okay, so because of that, it has to be translated from Japanese into English. All of the storylines and text and things. So that's a bit weird because. Sorry, I meant that was a bit weird there, because I'm not entirely sure how I did that. I don't think I was paying attention to what I was casting, sorry. But so, it translated from Japanese to English, and I think a lot of things get lost in translation. Because there's quite a few things that, you know, it's just like, I don't understand what's going on in this quest line. Like, a friend of mine plays Japanese, who plays in the Japanese version, because he speaks Japanese. He does it this way to train, you know, to make himself remember how to speak Japanese, because he's got to play the game. You've got to read the Japanese to understand what's going on. So, you know, it's a great way of training him how to speak Japanese, or refresh his how to speak Japanese. And he was saying that he didn't understand what people were so upset about with Midgard Samir. Because he was like, nah, Midgard Samir is a cool guy. And I was like, no, he's not. He's a dick. And we talked about it. It turns out that there's, you know, Midgard Samir has completely different motivations in the Japanese version. And so my friend sent me a website about the Dark Knight questline. And again, wow! The Dark Knight questline in Japan is really different to the English one. And I'm kind of disappointed by that. I kind of want to know why the English department, or whoever it is in charge of translating it, why they've chosen to translate it so poorly. Because, like, the Japanese stuff, all the Japanese quest differences make the game sound much more interesting. Like, I wonder just how much of a different story are we getting? Because, like I said again, like, it's so different and weird. It's really confusing as to how we've got different stories. Like, the Dark Knight, I didn't like the Dark Knight questline much at all, because the Dark Knight questline made it look really, really kind of shit. It was, oh, there we go, I've sworn. Oh dear. Oh well. It makes it seem really kind of like, at first it looked like you were going to be a kind of a dark, brooding hero and everything else. And it turns out, nah, not really. That doesn't really happen at all. I think that one works. I want to show you something else. But then, like, you look at the Japanese version, the Japanese does look kind of, you know, really different. Like, you do kind of seem like you are being a dark, brooding hero, rather than, you know, I'm a Dark Knight, but I'm a good Dark Knight. I hate that. I hate being a good Dark Knight, because, again, I like the characters who are more complex. Hi, Bush. I like the characters who are a bit more complex. I don't like characters who are, you know, I'm a good guy, but I'm in the wrong place. Whoops, my bad. I don't like the fact that, you know, steps, sorry. But I'm the good guy, and I do good guy things. I like people who are kind of more neutral, I suppose. Like heroes who are more kind of, you know, I'm a good guy, but I'm also a bit of a dick. Like, 'cause it makes it more fun and interesting that, you know, you've got a good guy, which is what Nyrox is meant to be based around. I can't remember what he's called. Type of hero I think he is I think it's reluctant hero, but like he's not going around doing hero things. It just happens, he just happens to be murdering the same people that the good guys want him to murder. And I prefer those heroes just to like paladins who are, we must go and do good things because doing good things is good. It's like, oh, I hate that. And like that's who you are in this thing. Like I did kind of like earlier on when you get to Volga's Reach. Sorry for the mispronunciations from doing it. You get there and you're just like, well, we have to go fight the Empire and go and free Doman. I think, yeah, Doman. We go free Domar. And I actually said to Alphinaud, I just said to him like, no, I don't want to fight this, but if I have to, then I have to. And I like the response to people who were just like, oh, I wasn't quite expecting that, but thanks for coming along anyway. And I was just like, yeah, there you go. But then it didn't really happen anything. Nothing came of that choice though, which is the sad thing, is that that's the choice of this. Like the choice, you get choices in this game, but a lot of them amount to nothing, which is really kind of sad. It's one of the reasons why I like Icewind Dale and other games like that, where different choices can lead you down different paths. But the thing I'll go back to that in a bit. But the thing I was going to mention here is if you look at this thing, he's called a Step Doll. He's also attacking me. He's called a Step Doll. The hole? Yeah? So, that's actually a thing in real life, a doll. It's a canid animal. I forget what continent it's from. I want to say Africa. I don't think it's from Africa though. It might not be. But a doll is actually a canid animal. It's a real animal that exists in real life. What the hell is this? Doesn't look like anything that could resemble a doll. What are these? These are canid animals called Gitans. As far as I know, Gitan isn't a real thing. But I do wonder, this is going back to the Lost in Translation things, like, I wonder if these were misnamed or something. Because it'd make much more sense if these were called Step Dolls and those were called something else, because, like I said, a doll is a real thing in real life, and it's a canid animal. These are canids. They are very thin, wiry looking wolves, but these are, like, these could be dolls. I mean, they've been called wolves. In Final Fantasy XI, which is another MMO I played years ago, they were dogs, they were wolves, they were even foxes, which nothing like any of those creatures, but different world, you can be whatever the hell you want. This could be a cat for all I care, I mean, it's a different world. But like, was there a translation error here, like there have been in a few other quests, where they try to make it more, I don't know what they've done, more kid-friendly? Is it more kid-friendly? I don't know. I don't know whether that counts as it being kid-friendly or not, because it just seems like... It does seem... A lot of the quests do seem very weird, like, what's the other one? Horsafon. I can't pronounce his name. I think it was pronounced even though it's been said in the game what his name was. He was called Horsafont, and people were saying, like, he is very kind of... He wants to be very close with you as the hero. Like, he wants to be very close. Like, there was even some point in the game for the Japanese version where he offered you to come and be in his warm bed chambers for the night or something, and Alphinaud comes in and he's like, oh good, you're here too. Me and my friends laughed about that because we were like, we never got that, what you want about? He's always been like, oh my god, it's you, oh, best friend ever, come here, we're best friends, yeah. He's never been kind of like, I think I kind of want to sleep with you tonight. He's never once been like that in the English version, and it's just like, why was that changed? Like, how was that changed? Like, was it changed to be more kind of kid-friendly? Because it can't be that, right? Because if it was changed to be more kid-friendly, it's not kid-friendly in Japan, or do they just have different... They must have weird different, complete different censorship laws or kid-friendly laws to what we have. But, like, it's more funny that way. I thought that was kind of cool. But, like, again, kind of cool, but again, kind of crappy that we don't have the same storyline. And it seems very kind of backwards to have a game where the story is different in two different countries and cultures. I mean, if I could read Japanese, I'd actually see if I can get this in Japanese to see what the storyline was in Japan, because the Japanese storyline seems much more interesting than this. Like how the Dark Knight isn't quite so, he isn't quite so friendly and everything else. And like, all of the Dark Knight quest lines I've done have always been like, oh, so I'm a Dark Knight. Yeah, but I'm a good Dark Knight. No, I don't want to be a good Dark Knight. I want to be a dark, brooding Dark Knight with a bit of control. Because it's like, what did the first Dark Knight ever do in this game? He chopped off the head of the Archbishop because he was being bad. He was being bad, and rather than go through the process of let's arrest him and all that stuff. He was like, let's just kill him. He deserves it. Off with his head. And it doesn't feel like I'm playing that class, because I'm playing the class that seems to be the good version of that, which is not knocking people's heads. It's really kind of weird. A few other storylines that have popped up doing like, is this right? If it feels more like I'm doing a rant rather than come here. But then I suppose the idea of this is, you know, if I was playing this, oh no, don't, oh, please, oh, well. Oh, it's all gone tits up. Why is that AoE? What? How did that happen? Huh. I suppose the idea of this is, oh, sharp B, took him out to sleep. I suppose the whole idea of this would be if, you know, you guys watching. If there are guys watching, are you watching, guys? Are you there? Please say you're there. No. But like, if you guys were here with me, sat here watching me, I'd be bitching to you about this game while I play, which may seem a bit weird as to how I'm bitching about a game, yet still playing it. It's because I'm very weird and I've got really weird addictive kind of features. Like, I do like the whole playing a class. I mean, it's what drew me into World of Warcraft and a lot of other games. I like taking a class, leveling it up, unlocking the skills, and playing the class as different. I like that aspect. I like in World of Warcraft how I had one character for each class, and I could jump on and play them as that. And that's what I like here. Like the storyline, weak, rubbish, not interested. But I do like games that have class systems where you can actually build a character up based on how you want them to play. Which is not what you can quite do this. You can do a bit more in Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, and a few other games like that. You kind of build the character you want to play based on those things, but in this you can't. I'm dying quite a bit. I'm actually dying quite a bit because I'm not really paying attention and talking. But like, I do like that kind of aspect of this, and that's probably why I'm still playing this game. Because I am like in the aspect of playing a class and seeing how does this class work later. Like, what's it like? Because I do like the different. I don't quite like the different playstyles. The playstyles I didn't like because the one problem this game has is that each class does play differently. But every time you get a spell, 9 times out of 10, that spell is going to completely change how you play your class. And that's not very good. Because it means, like, I've leveled up quite a few classes, and all of the classes changed completely once I got to the end of the game for that class. Once I got that class to the highest level, the rotation, the ability, the way it plays, all really changed. Which is really kind of bad because you can go to Palace of the Dead now, which is a very easy way of leveling up. Like a very, very easy way of leveling up. And I took some classes there, like I'll get to level 30, so I can unlock the jobs, which is advanced classes. So your Gladiator becomes a Paladin, your Marauder becomes a Warrior, your Thaumaturge becomes a Black Mage from a tower or something, I don't know. But I did that. And it was when I did that I went to Palace of the Dead, because you can also go to Palace of the Dead. Palace of the Dead. Get the right. When you go to the Palace of the Dead, you can go in there and be like, I want to go in there as if I was level 60. And it goes, okay, here are your level 60 classes. Your level 60 abilities. And you get all your level 60 abilities. And I did a few runs like that, and I was just like, wow, this class is completely different. Like, the rotation is different. This class is actually pretty good, because I played Gladiator. And I was like, oh, Gladiator is so boring. Like, there's nothing to do. It's just the same abilities over and over again. And like, it made me think that this is what Gladiator is going to be like at later levels. And when I got Paladin, the rotations changed completely, and everything's just different. And it feels kind of really weird that that's how this game is. You know, this game works. If I compare it again to World of Warcraft, you kind of get the feel of the class very early on in the game. And it's only when you get to the end game that you get abilities. The ability to get along the way, ultimate rather than change it. This really has been a giant rant system, isn't it, really? Well, I wasn't entirely sure. I'll be honest. It's all Calavan's fault. He said I should try this because I play this game a lot. And if I'm going to play it, I might as well be recording it, right? So I did that and just started recording, and then went, what do I talk about? Am I gonna run through dungeons and whatnot? But if I go back to that class thing, hang on, let me, oh, so here we go. So classes, see my classes, I've got, there you go, look, all my classes are 30-ish. you know, give or take. Classes that are end game are Scholar, which I haven't done much of. Summoner, which I abhor and I hate, I detest. I can do a whole new rant about that if you want. Red Mage, which I like. Dark Knight, which I like. And, you know, whatever, a few other random ones. But, getting back to what I was saying, let's put up Dark Knight. Let's look at my talents here. Job, there we go. So, the last talents I got were Delirium, Quietus, Bloodspiller, the Blackest Night, and Black Blood and Enhanced Blood. And the thing I didn't like about these abilities was that when I was leveling up, there's nothing really happened. I got this ability, and I was like, okay, neat. Like 2 minutes for a bit of blood, yeah, for a bit of blood, bit of MP, yeah, and my two, you know, I get mana back, and I get mana back abilities that quite, you know, get extended. Okay, that's cool. I got this. When I got this, it didn't restore MP, and I got that, and it was just an AoE ability for blood. And I was just, okay, neat. Like, it doesn't. I don't understand. What? But it's an AoE. People are like, oh, but it's a free AoE ability. It's like, not really, because it does put all the other abilities on cooldown, so it's not really free. It takes up an action slot. Also, I've got AoE abilities anyway. I've got Abyssal Drain. I've got Dark Passenger. I've got, you know, Unleash. Okay. I got Bloodspiller. I was just like, okay, so now I've got another thing to spend blood on, but they both cost 50 blood, which is half of my blood thing. Half my blood. That's a lot to build up on. Like, wow. So building blood is really horrible because it takes a long time. Because the only thing that gave me blood at this stage, I think, was way, yay, yay, give me money. God. The other thing that actually gave me blood was Soul Eater. And it's like, that's not really very good. Then later on it becomes Salted Earth, then my mana producing abilities give me blood. And it was like, it seems really weird that, like, that's a lot of blood to spend. Like, what do I do with these abilities? Then I got Blackest Night. Absorbs barrier, blah blah blah, absorbs damage. If the shield is broken, I get 50 blood. And it's 15 seconds. And then boom! Everything changes. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's how these abilities work. Like, because now I can generate tons of blood really easily. Because I'm the tank. I take damage. 20% of my health. It's nothing. That's nothing. Like, pull a group of mobs, Blackest Night. Within 3 seconds, it's gone. And I've got 50 blood. And then, whoof, what are these abilities? And I can, every 15 seconds, I can use that. Every 15 seconds. And that pulls things, that gives you blood, that gives you blood, and suddenly all of these abilities, like, it all makes sense now. And that's what I don't like about this game, that I've got to get a class to the end of the game to see how the class plays out. It's the one thing about the classes I don't like. I do like how the classes are different, and I think they're unique. I haven't been told, my friends have told me about the other tank classes, that they all do tank differently, like, I can't show you a lot of them, I think. So, Paladin. Sorry, so hang on, wait a minute. If I go to Dark Knight, for example, I won't go into too much detail, but on Dark Knight, I tank by taking damage and doing damage, basically. Simple as. I've got things that reduce damage I take, and I've got to do damage. I mean, Dark Arts, I deal damage. This, I deal damage, I mean, you know, whatever. Paladin is more kind of blocking and absorbing damage and a little bit of healing yourself, I think, people have said. Again, we haven't gotten Paladin to... Oh no, one of my friends got Paladin to end game. But, like, yeah, Paladin is less damage dealing and more kind of blocking and taking damage, healing yourself or healing other people and whatnot. And Warrior, I think, as well, is just taking to the face. I think it literally... I haven't quite understood what Warrior's... You know... I haven't quite understood what Warrior's all about. Because a lot of Warrior things is just like... You basically have two stances. You have Defiance, which is your tanking stance, and Unchained, which is your... Oh no, not Unchained. Oh, is it? No. Oh, it is Unchained. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'm an idiot. I thought it was something. I thought it was something else. Am I sure I'm not thinking of something else? I thought it was maybe it is Unchained. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh no, it's not, because it's oh, I am really at a loss here of what it is. Deliverance! There it is. I got it in the end. Deliverance is the non-tanking stance. So this is... Your HP goes up, and your damage dealt goes down. But your immunity goes up, and you heal more. And this is, your damage goes up, and you fill up with beast gauge and things happen. So abilities, I think these abilities kind of change. So they do tanking stuff when you're tanking, and they do DPS things when you DPS. So like if you have 2 off tanks, or if you need a tank or something else, it works out. It works out so that if you're not needed to tank in this raid, you can do damage as well. So I think Warrior tanks similarly to Dark Knight, where Dark Knight tanks by just dealing raw damage, whereas I think Warrior just has to take tons of damage. But I think they get different abilities that are things like if I can actually find any. I haven't played Warrior too much. Yeah, parries or physical damage taken from the front. And I think they have a lot more things that are like, when you take damage, you just kind of shake it off or something. Yeah, so all these classes do play differently. And I just find it really annoying that I've got to get the class to the end of the game to find out what the class is all about. And I never had that in other games, such as World of Warcraft, or even in some cases, Baldur's Gate. I mean, Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale didn't have that kind of issue either. That's the thing I was going to say about Icewind Dale. Oh, I don't want to be level 30 in this area, I'll get killed. I will get slaughtered. Can I do this fate while I'm here? When I talk about Icewind Dale and why I like Icewind Dale so much? Penance Ray, Uncivil Serpents. Oh, jeez. I'm doing this by myself, so I'm not able to actually fight very well by myself. Manta Rays. I'll do the snakes. Yeah, the reason why I like games like Icewind Dale is because in Icewind Dale, you're just a guy. Well, you're just 6 guys, but you control 6 guys who are just normal guys. You're mercenaries looking for fame and fortune. You've come to Icewind Dale because you've heard they need help. So you've gone, you know what? Sounds like a good adventure. Let's go up there and help. You're getting bored up in, all of the problems that they have. Which I like. I like the fact that probably, maybe done. I probably should have done maybe a little bit of script for this. So I don't sound like I'm repeating myself. But in Icewind Dale, you're just Jim from accounting, Bob from HR, Jimmy who takes out the trash. You're just normal people who are just doing amazing things. I mean, because like in Baldur's Gate, spoilers, you are the son of the god Baal or Baal, same diff, right? So if it makes all of the achievements you do feel kind of cheaper. It's like, oh, you killed all those guys. It's like, well, I am the son of the god of murder. That's what I do, right? Son of the god of murder, I kill things. I mean, it doesn't feel special, is what I'm getting at. It doesn't feel like you've done something, because you've done things that you were meant to do. Same in here. I'm the warrior of light. So when I accomplish amazing feats of strength, it's just That's what I do. It's what the warrior of light does, right? I mean, I go out, I kill things that are bad, I come home safe and fine, that's it. I don't have any problems because I'm the good guy. Whereas in Icewind Dale, when you take out the bad guys, when you take out all the giants, when you go to the Temple of Orun and actually deal with all of our acolytes and our priestesses, when you save Kuldahar, and you save Kuldahar, you help the Druids, you do all these amazing things and these amazing big feats of strength, it feels special because you're just a normal guy. There's no god behind you empowering you and making you stronger. You don't have any special supernatural abilities that make you stronger. It's just your own raw strength. Your own raw strength of will, your own willpower, your own fortitude. It's you who've done those things. Not anyone else. It's you and your other 5 companions. All 6 of you. And that's one of the things that I like about the storyline of this game. And what Blizzard have done in their game. They've turned you to the hero in World of Warcraft. And beforehand, I didn't feel like I was the hero. I felt like I was just a warlock who was doing quests and happened to get embroiled up in the big bad things that are going on. Like, I'm killing Onyxia now because I got mixed up in, I got mixed up in, the politics of Storm. I didn't realise Onyxia. Now I'm going to kill her because she needs to be killed. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't chosen to do it. I just did it because I had to do it at the time. Again, in these games, that's the opposite. You're doing it because you're the good guy. You have to do it because it's good. And it's cheapened because I'm the chosen warrior. So, yeah, you come up with a dangerous mission. And people are like, oh, amazing, you did it. It's like, well, I did it. Yeah, but there was nothing special about it. Like, you gave me. It's like it's it's like that's a really crap analogy. I thought of a really good analogy, but then actually I thought of it. I was like, no, it wasn't a really good analogy, was it? Because my analogy was it was going to be. It's like, you know, praising your gardener or praising a gardener for doing the garden. It's like, yeah, that's what he does. He gardens. he gardens. That's what he does. He gardens things. He plants flowers. He looks after them all. He makes hanging baskets. That's what a gardener does. So it's kind of rubbish when you praise the gardener for actually, you know, doing what he does, doing what he's been paid to do, doing what he's got the tools for. Whereas it'd be more impressive if the gardener did go on to slay the dragon, you know, to slay the dragon that's plaguing the village. That's more special because he's just a gardener. Like that's quite amazing. You know, go him. You know, he's gone out there with a shovel. He's gone out with a shovel. It's a shovel, and in his apron or, you know, his knee pads to help him from kneeling and whatnot. And he's slain the dragon. That's impressive. That would make a good story because wow, he's just a gardener. He's just guarding a gym. Whereas the knight who's got the dragon slaying sword that killed the dragon in one shot, it's not really very amazing, is it? It's like, oh, he killed the dragon. It's like, well, yeah, the sword was designed to stab the dragon and kill him. So yeah, what's the fuss there? You know, that's not really, to me at least. I know whether or not some people maybe find that, you know, fun, but to me that seems kind of like a bad story because it's just like, well, not bad, but it's a boring story because it's like I saw it coming kind of thing. And that's again the problem I have with the story of this game is that I see what's going to happen and I see what's coming, and it doesn't make the game any more special. It makes the game, you know, make me roll my eyes and go, ugh. You know, everyone's like praising me for doing these amazing things. It's like, did you not see me doing? Did you not see me winning the game? Did you not see that this was going to happen? Really? Because I saw it coming a mile away. I saw it coming 15 quests ago. The instant you said there might be a primal around here, I instantly went, well, I'm going to kill that primal, and everyone's going to praise me for it. 15 quests later, here I am. I killed the primal. Everyone's praising me for it, and I'm going on to do the next best thing. What do you think then? Was this a good, episode or show? 42 minutes. Wow, I've shot over my time limit I was going for. Was this good? Did you enjoy this kind of stuff? Was that a rant? What do you call this? A rant? Was I rambling? Just talking? I don't know. I mean, I got no idea if this was any good, but, you know, I mean, if people watch this and they enjoyed me talking about it, then hell yeah, I'll do it again. That's the only problem I have in real life is that I talk far too much. I'm shy at first when you get to know me, but then once I start talking to you, don't know how many of you get the expression, but the expression that I was always brought up with was I could talk the hind legs off a donkey. Which sounds about right. I can talk until my mouth gets dry, and then I go, I should probably stop to have some water, and then I talk for another 3 hours. So, yeah, if you enjoyed that, I can do that again maybe, or do it more, maybe do it when playing other games, or I could just keep playing this and keep talking about this game. I've got loads I can talk about this game, or other games or whatnot, but, yeah, let me know what you think then, guys, and Caliban, when you watch this, because I'm going to make you watch it. I mean, personally, I think this was not very good, but, you know, we shall see, shall we? So, thank you very much for joining me. If you have joined me. If you have, why? But, alright. I'll see you guys later.